Julie Necklei, and this is my year-end report on how my life went as 1 year of being single and receiving charity. Because it's like I got like a free place to live, I got food stamps, and I'd like to thank all the taxpayers for those. It's like I've never eaten so well in my life. Thank you. But I mean, that's not saying that much because normally before that I just ate like Oreos and nothing else. So it's been a slight improvement for me, but you probably wouldn't be impressed with my diet, to be honest. But anyway, and then random people like really helping me and being nice to me, and I guess I felt like kind of the expectation was that at the end of 1 year I would be a dentist or something. I'd be a dentist, married to another dentist, and we'd be like driving around with a bunch of kids in the car, going to soccer games or whatever. And that really hasn't happened. I mean, I haven't really changed at all or become a different person like I was supposed to, It's like, like I would be told all these success stories like, oh yeah, the last person in this program, she became a dentist, and now she's doing great. And yeah, well, everyone became a dentist except for me. So I was feeling really bad about that, and I don't really even, I don't I don't have a career, I don't have really friends, or I don't have a man, I don't have transportation. But, so I was feeling like a loser, but then I thought about it differently, and in some ways I am sort of, I feel proud of myself because, I did survive the first year, and I learned a lot, It's like the amount of new skills that I've just had to gain on a daily basis for like the past 1.8 years is crazy, really. It's a lot. It's a lot of learning, just like every day, learning new stuff and learning the sorts of stuff that I'm really bad at too, you know what I mean? And not having anyone that can like rely on, and having lots of obstacles that I have to work around, like not having money or transportation or all these different things create obstacles that make you have to like constantly be being creative and stuff like that. So I'm proud of myself for surviving, and also I feel like in some ways I had this sort of year that I was wanting to have, because after my husband went to jail and then we were living together, I was like in a divided mind. Most of me was like trying to make it work, trying to do everything to make things work in the relationship, but a part of me knew that I had to like prepare for the other thing. And so I made this Pinterest board of like an apartment, because I couldn't really imagine living on my own, but I felt like I needed to open myself up to it at least. And so like on the Pinterest board, the apartment, it was like all these really everything was really kind of chaotic and colorful and just little kind of cheap and colorful and fun and like handmade and like a bohemian type of thing, you know what I mean? And it was a symbol of like how I imagined I wanted my life to be, which is I wanted it to be really like stimulating and kind of bohemian, I guess you could say. And because I before, my life was just it wasn't a lot of variety, it wasn't a lot of change. It was just, I was very focused, very in my own world, without ever really having diverse experiences. And so I wanted to experience something a little more mercurial, where I would have to overcome all these little challenges and stuff and be learning and doing new things and interacting with new people. And that has really happened, It's like, so I don't have some kind of like really mega life or whatever to show for it, but I have like met a million new people, and even if they're not friends, even if like 65% of them became enemies, but the others are like acquaintances who I really value as angels. And but I've like had all these new experiences that have been very diverse, you know, like I've had to do all sorts of things, you know what I mean? From like trying to carry heavy objects long distances to evading serial killers to like tons and tons of technological stuff, which is a nightmare, tons of bureaucratic and legal stuff and IRS and just like just all this stuff, you know. So in that, from that perspective, is like, you know, in performing, and from that perspective, it's been very much like what my vision was. Like the way, like, I wasn't able to get a job, even though I applied for 1 million of them, but nobody wanted to hire me. But the way I made money so far was like being a secretary for an herbalist. I shortly was on the psychic hotline. Then I did psychic readings for myself, astrology readings, music, and stuff I can't talk about, and making hot dogs and building dental websites using AI. So it is like a diverse array of things, you know, which is cool. But recently it's got to the point where I've like been so scattered and overwhelmed that it's just like I can't function, like I'm spazzing out. Like I can't just like keep continuing on this line because it's too spastic, really. And I it's hard for me to be doing things that are completely mental all the time because, you know, I'm like a water person. I prefer to be doing stuff that's more emotional, and it's hard for me to be like this scattered, really, and feeling insecure constantly, etc. So I have a new vision. And this new vision shows just how much I haven't reformed and I haven't changed. Because once again, I'm convinced that I can change my life and find the answers through changing the color scheme of my life. Because the color scheme I imagined for this new apartment, it was like all about being multicolors and very like patterns everywhere. You know what I mean? Busy, 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 and tiny patterns, like a bunch of small. And that's what my life has been like, a bunch of small scattered details. And like, and so now I have my new vision for my life is the colors black, dark purple, and dark green. And I normally am someone who I avoid dark colors because I don't know. I tried to get in touch. The last time I tried to get in touch with black, I got pushed into a toilet and my kidney started bleeding. So I was like, okay, no more black for me. But who cares? I'll try it again. Because I feel like dark colors, you know, like light colors are about like emitting energy, really. And also can be sometimes they can be about like releasing things, you know, like if you need to release a relationship or something, then you'd want like light green. Whereas dark colors are about like accruing stuff, you know, what's it called when stuff amasses, you know, that. And that's what I need because it's like I've been working really hard, but I have no real substance to show for it. And I'm definitely someone who tends to be really hyper without building up a lot of gravity or substance over time. And so I'm hoping that dark colors will help me to, you know, become like a more serious person, hopefully while also being myself to some extent. And green, purple, and black. I won't go into the reasons for those, but I'll just stick with the dark color thing. Yeah. I have more stuff I want to say. Like, I really want to talk about my personal life, but I'll get in trouble because the people involved will probably see this video and then they will hate me even more than they already do. It's like, I really have made a lot of enemies, and or at least people who dislike me, and I don't totally know why, because I don't think I'm mean or anything, but yeah, I don't know why. People always tell me that they think I'm like autistic or on the spectrum. I mean, I don't really feel autistic because to me, an autistic person is someone who's like wearing a Hawaiian print shirt, drinking fruit punch, and like dancing to Huey Lewis in the News specifically, and I don't do that, so I don't see myself as autistic, but I definitely feel like a lot of times I have no idea what I've done wrong. So, but I think in a way it's good that I don't necessarily have that I don't really have like much of a social support system at the moment. It's a good thing. It's good. I think it's good though, because it's like, it forces you to keep growing, It's like when you don't have anything to fall back on, you just have to keep going, and sometimes that will cause you to get to a better place than you would get to if you could just stay where you were, So I just see it as like, I just like have to keep growing until I find the people who, I don't know, will be able to understand me or whatever. So anyway, I have a lot more to say, but I just can't really say the juicy stuff because then I'll get in so much trouble. Maybe I'll develop the balls to say it anyway. We'll see what happens. Thank you. Bye.